you can locate the new client form builder via Setup, Extensions, Create Template. You'll notice that you can still access our legacy form area by clicking here. But today we're going to create a new intake form, so let's click Create Template. This will take us to our blank form where we can firstly give the form a distinct name, decide on the settings for form approval, and the locations this form will be accessible for. Now we're ready to start dragging the elements that we want to include in the form, including things like a header, so we can display our logo and title the form. We can add key client detail fields such as name, date of birth, and address. And you've also got the option to add things like charts, a file uploader option, as well as the signature field for consent. We've got external communication elements so the client can provide marketing or reminder consent, as well as an internal communication option so that you can determine what email or SMS message defaults when sending out the client form. We also have the ability to add in your extra fields, which allow you to create your own fields in the client file. But please note, before you can add these fields into your client form, you'll need to set the fields in your Nuclear account by going to Setup, Practice, Extras. If you want to ask the client specific questions, but you don't need the data to be stored as an extra field, you can utilize the question element, which will allow you to add in open style, single choice, or multiple choice questions. These will then be visible in the PDF copy of the form when the form is completed by the client. Once you've added in all the elements that you'll need, you can easily drag and drop the fields to an order that suits your preference, or quickly delete elements if they are no longer required. Now, if we move across to the Colours section, you'll have the option to customize the colours of your client form. And next, if we select Customize, this is where we can perfect each element so that we only have the fields that we want the client to complete. For example, I don't need to collect the client's title or middle name, so I'll toggle these questions off. Furthermore, I want to make some fields mandatory to answer and others not, so I will add or remove a tick to determine if the question must be answered by the client or not. Now, I'm happy with my form, but I want to quickly preview it. So I can select the build button at the top of the form and get an overall look at the form, including the number of pages the questions will sit across. Once you're happy with your new form, be sure to select Save on the top right-hand side of the page. And now you're ready to start sending out your new client form. Make sure you watch part 2 of this video to see how you can send the form to the client, be notified that the form is completed, and locate the PDF copy of the form.